There's a lot of players coming into pickleball, and a lot of players are getting better quickly. On the male side, all these players are shaping up to be like left side studs, left side guys. You want to take the left, almost all of them.
Yeah.
And that's a natural progression because if you're the best player in your group, you're playing the left, and that's just how you get comfortable. Everyone's training for the left. Nobody's training for the right, really. Who's going to get dropped first, Ben or Collin?
And who's going to drop who?
Is Collin going to drop Ben before Ben drops Collin?
No.
Okay, everybody. This is the James Ignatowich Show. We have Davis Carvalho on the podcast again. And everybody was asking to get him back on the podcast. And we just, acquiesced, and we've got him back. So thank you for coming on, Davis.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think it was less of a high demand, more of a low supply.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're gonna make it work. Let's get into it. Let's get it done.
Yeah, very low supply. This podcast was recorded because I have no other guest options. No coffee. Just no passion, anything. But anyway, we got to get into the Beer City Open. So I played the Beer City Open with Althoff Merchant, and I played mixed with my little sister, Ava Ignatowich. Got to the quarters in the main draw of both, and Althoff and I had game points against Federico and Pablo in each game. And Althoff is one of your favorite players, Dave. So I don't know if you saw any of that, but maybe walk us through what you saw out there in that moment.
Yeah, from Althoff's point of view, I saw nothing but intensity and unbridled passion. Truly, that guy just brings some sort of different intensity to that backhand slice dink that, it's something special. It's something special. A little bit like your two-hand roll, but just way more attractive.
Agreed. He's a guy, Althoff.
I thought you guys did pretty good. I was more surprised by the quarterfinal appearance with Ava. That I think was her first quarterfinals in a tournament ever. So
that was crazy.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to say this. So I got to the quarters with Ava, and we beat Lacey Schneeman, who's a premier player, and Brendan Long, who was considered to be premier level until that loss. And basically, they were so mad. We won like 11-4, 11-9. And Ava, I think it was one of her first doubles tournaments against that quality of player. And Brendan and Lacey, they got a little tight, and somebody's going to send this to them probably. But I played well, and Brendan at 5-5 was so tight that he hit like a jumping serve, I think. Like he jumped this high off the ground, and he never jumps. I mean, you see the guy. He's not a guy that looks like he can jump, really. But he jumped.
I'm surprised he got that high off the ground. He must have been really nervous.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was like me. And he jumps this high off the ground, and he gets called for a foot fault because you got to have 1 foot on the ground when you serve. So he got called for a foot fault, and they said to him, that's a foot fault. And he said, no, it wasn't. I was on the ground, both feet. I'm like, Brendan, I just saw you jump. And there was like this whole commotion. He wanted a new ref. He talked to the head of the tournament. It was like a 5-minute thing. And they had a little momentum in that game, and it was just gone after that. So
there's no coming back from that. That's just a complete detachment from reality. I must have been tough for our buddy Brendan.
Not good.
Not
good. But me and Althoff could have had Pablo and Fed. It was good. It was a close one. And Althoff is interesting because he's got these different grunts on his dinks. So like sometimes when we're dinking, and he's to my right the whole time, I can hear him. Sometimes he'll meow when he dinks. It'll be like it's true. He'll be like meow, meow, and then sometimes grunt like just like and he'll be 5 feet behind the kitchen. He's just way back there. He's not even thinking of attacking. He's just like, I'm just gonna dink it in. I'm gonna say whatever comes to my mind. And got in my definitely got me motivated just looking at him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to have to incorporate a bit of that, some of his verbosity when it comes to dinking, a little bit more, lower tone from the soul. That guy's got a lot of soul. He digs deep when he dinks. That's
I
for
know
sure.
that could be a strategy, like
If
one
anything, annoying, right? I mean,
yeah.
it could give you a little bit of edge. I mean, perhaps. I think Althoff's just a little nuts. Yeah. But
It's all, I mean, how could I get even more annoying, right? I'm already standing there jumping up and down as quick as I can, like maybe different grunts. Like one grunt is like one thing, then another thing, you know. Just saying.
and never the same front twice. I mean, we're all looking how to get better in our games, right? We're always looking for the next thing to improve. We're kind of anything it takes. I like that.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Okay. So now we got to talk about Seattle
Let's talk about it.
preview. Seattle, I'm here right now. It's Thursday. Singles is going on right now. There's actually a singles match going on that I think everyone should watch. It's Kwang Duong, the Avatar, the ball bender, versus Ryan Scher.
Call him that, but
dude, I saw him.
I guess
I saw him yesterday in the like, so we're all in Seattle, and I saw him at this market actually with his dad. And there's a bunch of people around. It's packed. I see him from like 10 feet away. I'm like, yo, Avatar. And he's just like, hey. And then these other people are like looking at me like, what the guy's name?
Chosen one.
Yeah, he made a scene.
Oh, God.
Like, what's wrong with you? But he like totally answered. He's like, hey, yes, I am Avatar. So he's dialed, and I think he's very dialed. But anyway, back to the match. Doesn't
like dialed, yeah, for sure.
What do you think about Riley and Julian playing together? This is their first tournament together.
Mm-hmm. I think that any team with Riley on it's a good team. I think Julian is going to complement Riley well. I think he's got some good reach, and he always brings the intensity. It's going to be a very intense team to play against. That's for sure. So definitely not a team I'd like to see in my half of the draw. But then again, I'm not playing, so I don't got to worry about that. I feel like they could do some damage, but it might take a tournament or two. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a tight loss or something, but it'll take a second to get the chemistry down. But those guys are winners. Those guys can both get the job done. So I'm excited to see how that works out.
Well, they're on Ben and Collin's side draw.
I'm more excited. AJ and yeah. That's
AJ,
gonna be.
You think AJ and Riley will be better than Julian and Riley?
I'm a bit biased because my love for AJ knows no bounds at all.
That's true.
So that is just too cool. So I hope they do a little bit better and AJ can lock up Riley, but I guess we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how that goes.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know at home, Dave and AJ became very good friends. In San Clemente. We're not gonna get into the details, but
it would be too long. Another time, perhaps. We'll get after that.
But now Dave has you got a hard eights hat. Like we're playing, like we were warming up with the fives, my team, and Dave's got a hard eights hat on.
Yeah. Had to set the tone. Yeah.
Yeah, the tone was set. But so let's see.
So I'm a bit biased, but both teams, I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see how that shakes out.
So Riley and Julian are going to play Ben and Collin in the semis. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that match? Because that's two players that Collin does not like on a personal level. Like one time I was asking Collin to play rec. I was like, hey, you want to play rec with me and Julian? He's like, no. He doesn't like Julian. He doesn't like Riley. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's going to affect anything, or is Collin just too dialed to even notice that?
Yeah, I don't think Collin, when it gets down to business, is going to really ever flinch at anybody, because I don't think there's much going in on his head when he's out there playing. I think he's more of just a strategy guy and sticks to the game plan. I don't think he's going to really deviate from the plan at all, depending on whether he likes or doesn't like a guy. I think he leaves all that off the court. He just focuses on getting extremely soft. That guy... I think the only thing that he's focused on being is soft, making dinks, bailing himself out of his own problems, because there's plenty of those. But he does that at a very, very elite level. And
We've
I
been
don't think for him. No, I
Me
don't.
and Dave have been watching Collin Johns a lot.
Yeah.
And we just watch it because it seems to us like the only thing that can stop Collin is the net cord.
The net cord. In these last couple of tournaments, he's been going toward the net cord and he's been winning. I don't know how, but he's transcended human opponents for real. He's going to war with the laws of the game itself. He's like, this net cord's a little too high. Let me just lower it. Let's just figure this out.
It honestly does look
Yeah.
like the net cords are always going against Collin. Like against Callan.
Well, it seems like that, but really he's aiming for the net cord. He on his drops and sets, unlike a normal human that would aim for a foot or two over the net, that guy is aiming to hit the net and have a drop reset that rolls over the net. And he's so good that he gets upset when he hits the net. I'm like, Collin, if you're aiming for the net, you can't be surprised when the ball trickles back over to your side, man. Give yourself some margin, but he's too good for that. He won't listen.
So me and Dave have been watching a lot of Ben.
Yeah.
A lot of Collin, more Collin. Yeah. And we have decided, or at least we're thinking it's possible. Is Collin Johns better than Ben Johns?
So the simple answer to that question is no. And you're crazy for even bringing it up. Let's be honest with the people here. But if we're to play devil's advocate, which I love to do, let's just have a little argument for a second. I think that Collin's job, what he brings to the table, is more important, and he does that job way better than Ben does. That being said, Ben's that guy. Ben does everything, and Ben does it the best in the world. But if you want to get into a cross-court dink battle with Collin Johns, you must be me. You must be psychotic. You must be losing your mind out there because no one wants to go sit out there in the sun for 2 hours and play the game. Who's going to miss first, me or Collin? Because you know how that will shake out. And Collin's just going to be a motionless little robot just hitting those dinks with that freaking robotic technique because he has 3 million reps more than anyone on the court combined, probably. And that's his job. And when it comes to dinking cross, getting up to the kitchen, hitting the resets,
Collin gets up.
No one likes that. That guy is simply different.
When it comes to just getting up to the kitchen, drops, it's like that guy is special. It's special what's going on. It's almost like we're watching. When we watched him, it was like when we watched him against Callan and Hayden in Denver, in the altitude.
It was unreal.
The stuff he was doing, the resets were like.
Yeah, I urge anyone that thinks I'm just a little off base with these Collin comments to really go check out that match. See how he overcame the net cord. All right. The net cord's not a meme. He literally won a 3v1 against Hayden and Callan and the net cord.
And sort of carried Ben. Ben was making a ton of mistakes.
Yeah. And
Collin carried.
Dialed. Collin is just. He's different, guys. I'll say that much. But I urge anyone to go watch that match and tell me I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll expect a lot of comments. And I probably am wrong. But just go watch the match and let me know.
I don't know. I played against him. And I've played against him a couple times. Collin and Ben. And this is a fun little fact for everybody. I was playing with Tyson in San Clemente. And we beat J-Dub and Dylan in the quarters. Ben and Collin won their quarters probably before us. We had like a 3-hour break until the semis. 3 hours, you sit there, you don't do anything. Yeah. We come out, I think the first or second point, we're playing Ben and Collin. I remember this vividly. I think I had a dream about this. It was like, it was just.
Was it a dream before or a dream after? Because what he does out there, it's clandestine. What if he's before and
I don't know. I don't know which one it was. I took a full swing.
Yeah.
Then 002. Yeah. As hard as I possibly could, above my shoulder, in transition.
Yeah.
Collin had a reset from like 4 feet inside the baseline, off of his shoelaces. It was like he didn't even look at he hardly even registered what happened. He was just off his shoelaces, right over the net.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so shocked that the reset was so good. I think I missed the next ball.
Yeah.
It was like an offensive reset.
Yeah, and he didn't even flinch, right? Because that's what he does. He's just like, oh, I hit a ball. Nice. It went in the pool. Like that is so tough to do.
It's disheartening. It is disheartening. When he hit that shot, I was like, we're done. Because if that's what's going on, we're not beating that team.
And he's been doing nothing but playing the best pickleball of his life ever since that tournament. It's just
he's been playing
the pleasure. I can't say enough.
I mean, we could talk about Collin for hours.
No, we literally did just a few nights ago. Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, though. Last thing. Who do you think is going to get... So here's a crazy hypothetical. And I want the people in the comments to let me know about this because me and Dave have discussed this also. There's a lot of players coming into pickleball, and a lot of players are getting better quickly. On the male side, all these players are shaping up to be like left side studs, left side guys. They want to take the left. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
And that's a natural progression because if you're the best player in your group, you're playing the left, and that's just how you get comfortable. Everyone's training for the left. Nobody's training for the right, really. Who's going to get dropped first? Ben or Collin?
And who's going to drop who?
Is Collin going to drop Ben before Ben drops Collin?
No. But
it might happen.
But I think the right side guys, we're going to have our pick of the litter. That's for sure. I mean, there's just not a lot of new guys that are playing the right. I feel like it'd be pretty smart if you're a new tennis player getting into pickleball that really likes doubles, start playing the right a lot because it's really easy to get partners. You know, the left side guys, their level is going to start evening out. I mean, Ben just has years of experience on everyone, but I'm sure in the next year, 2, 3 years, however long it is, you know, guys like you that are coming into sport, probably guys we don't even know yet, are going to be able to be really effective on that left. But on the right side of the court, that's gonna, I feel like that's always gonna, you know, be the weakest spot on the court because everyone that's good is gonna put left. So I think that Collin's gonna be working that right side for a very long time. Very long.
There's going to be a power dynamic shift there. You know, Collin's going to be like, hey, Ben, you got to be better because I haven't missed a reset in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's possible. That's all I could say, I think. I don't know if there's anything else.
Let's get there before we start getting too, you know, into pickleball conspiracy because we're starting to sound a little nuts.
Yeah, this is getting crazy. If you guys at home want to know about me and Dave's conversations on a daily basis, literally that was it. That is what we talk about.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous coming in. I'm not a big interview guy, and James just said, we're just going to talk about Collin all the time, so it's fine. I was like, oh, great. Good. I mean, nothing out of the norm there.
Nothing out of the norm. So, okay. Yeah. All right. See you later, everybody. Let me know in the comments what you think about Collin Johns because I'll talk about him. And so will Dave. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me.